If you want to look expensive and feminine, it's all about the details. It's all about how the overall image is crafted and presented to the world. When you think about what makes most people look polished, it's in the details. It's in the little things that you don't notice. Only the astute eye is trained to observe. Every element of how you're putting yourself together tells a story, and you never want one aspect of you to take away from the beauty as a whole. You want things to be cohesive. So when it comes to luxury, you typically think minimalism. When you think luxury high-rise condos or houses, they're often decorated in neutrals. They're decorated in a way that would appeal to most people. So to me, appearing luxury is about having a blank canvas that most people can project their image onto. So they're typically decorated in neutrals, beige, grays, whites, nothing too out there so that they can attract more buyers. So a lot of people, they're afraid to stand out, so they opt for blacks, whites, neutrals, and it's also easy. It works, going into the closet and having an array of black clothes. It's one less decision you have to think about in a day. So some people's motivations for wearing these colors is to minimize their effect, especially if you're someone with a powerful presence. Wearing vibrant colors can really either set you off and make you too magnetic, but also if you're someone who doesn't have a powerful presence, wearing vibrant colors, you can get lost in it. So that's why people opt for the neutrals, the creams, the blacks, the whites, the sage greens, the new millennial gray, or soft pastels. It's non-offensive and it appeals to most people. Jewel tone colors like ruby, sapphire, or emeralds exude luxury and elegance, especially when you combine it with materials such as satin, silk, or high quality cotton. It just sets you off the bar. Oh my God, and linen. Good quality linen makes you look good too. You can do color, but it has to be done in a way that's complementary to your skin tone and also your overall aesthetic. To most people, soft pastels read as luxury. The lavenders, the lilacs, the light blues, the blush pinks, they have a calming and anxiety reducing effect on people, which is very feminine. When you think about a feminine presence and energy, it calms you. Feminine energy is attractive. It brings things to you, whereas masculine energy is more stagnant and it's more of a builder energy. I don't know how to say that. I don't know the right word, but I think you got it. So the fabrics you wear matter and also the shapes and silhouettes. So what I've come to realize from just literally like being out in the field and observing the most beautiful women in the world is I noticed that clothing that flows on the body, to me personally, is ultimately the most feminine because that extra fabric, the human eye is going to be more drawn to a flowing fabric on a moving body instinctively. Your eyes can't help but to like look over at the dress that's like dancing. And when you combine that with soft pastel colors or like lighter colors or feminine colors or like bold colors even, it creates an effect. Length, maybe even a little slit to show a little skin, not too much, maybe a little décolletage, maybe no décolletage, maybe the legs are the focal point of the outfit. You can't help but to look over. Personally, I feel like body conscious things are not necessarily less feminine. I just feel like body conscious things you have to have a great body to really sell the dress. Like some dresses, especially like midi dresses, if you have like a really nice shapely body and like big curves, those look so great because they emphasize your silhouette. So silhouettes and shapes, your clothes need to be tailored to your body and complementing you. If your clothes is overly tight, it can be viewed as vulgar. Here's the thing. This is where body types come in. This is where body types matter. So fascinating how losing weight could add to the sophistication of a person in addition to other things. I feel like skinny girls can get away with wearing a lot more vulgar things like shorter mini skirts because their asses aren't huge or like those tiny little tops. And I know for me, as someone who has a bigger bust, it can either go one or two ways. It's either giving party girl or classy, depending on how I dress it. You have to dress your body for success. It's all about your motivations and your goals and who you're trying to appeal to. Your clothes don't need to be designer, but they should be quality. Sometimes with companies, sometimes you're paying for brand recognition versus the actual quality and the material. So when you go on sites and you're shopping for clothes, I want you to look at the materials. Aritzia, for example, I would go on their site, I'd look at the materials, I'm like, 70% viscose, polyester, cotton. And then sometimes there's a dupe on Amazon of the same exact material, the same exact quality, and all you're paying for is to be like, I got this at Aritzia. Like, so you need to be really strategic and always look at the quality of the clothing and make sure that you're getting your bang for your buck. Another thing I learned a long time ago was colors like black and white. It's harder to tell the quality of something that's in black or white. And I feel like more so to me personally, that applies to black colors because sometimes if a white is too see-through and then you throw some brown skin under that, it just looks cheap. So I feel like when it comes to fast fashion, which is a necessary evil that we all partake in, we all have had somewhere that we had to go and we needed an outfit. And I'm guilty of this too. I'm a content creator, so for me, it's going to be more beneficial to look different, to, keep things interesting. And I'm not going to sit here and spend a shit ton of money on clothes that I'm not going to wear anywhere else but on camera. So when I do that and I go to those sites like Shein or Fashion Nova, you need to be extremely strategic with how you're purchasing these items. One, you know that it might last you only one wear. And honestly, they only last me one wear. I don't want to keep such cheap quality clothing in my closet. It's just for a look. It's just for something quick. But you really have to dig and dive on these sites like Fashion Nova to find a classy, elegant looking piece. I feel like Fashion Nova takes the most classiest, elegant dress. And then you swipe and there's like a slit or a cutout and it's so unflattering and it just makes you look like a whore. Girl, what is that howling? Oh my god. Hope there's not a coyote out here. God damn. Okay, so there's nothing wrong with that. It just depends on your motivations and your goals. I feel like when you're ordering from the fast fashion sites, you've just got to be prepared to either look really cheap, you potentially could look really cheap, or you got a good buy and everyone thinks that shit is designer. And that's where being physically fit comes into play. I say this all the time, but if you've got if you've got a banging body, a great face, and great energy, you can make a garbage bag look good. So that's the thing. Like if you think about supermodel, that's why we have supermodels selling clothes that are ugly as hell, that are not wearable to most people. That's why that's why we have supermodels selling these ugly ass clothes. And then they're like, not me, but most people are going to be like, oh, wow, that's interesting. Wow, hey, she looks good. She looks good, but the clothes don't. That's where having a great body and look and really taking care of yourself works in your favor here. I feel like when it comes to looking exquisite and expensive with jewelry, you want to go for pieces that are more delicate. When it comes to your jewelry, you don't want to do too much. I feel like less is more here. And I feel like it's all about what you want the focal point of your presentation to be. So for me, I love having like a dangling necklace on the décolletage. I feel like a small piece of jewelry, maybe with some high brilliance. I love jewelry with high brilliance because it just catches the eyes in low light. And for me, as a night owl and a night creature and someone who stays up all damn night every single day, I'm just a creature of the night. So I like things that pop in low light. And honestly, it makes you so much more magnetic. This is exactly what I mean by pops in low light. Look at these cars. Neatly decorated in Christmas fixtures. It pops in low light and it draws the eyes compared to these other people and cars and things. So it's all about the focal point of what you want to really stand out. So for example, I'll do a dangling jewelry, draw attention to the décolletage, and it adds a touch of femininity to the torso as a whole. It might even shorten the distance of the torso for some people, depending on the type of jewelry. I also like studs because I feel like they're really dainty and cute and feminine. Also, studs are typically the first earrings you get when you get your ears pierced. So it's kind of youthful in that way. You never want one part of you to overwhelm the rest. So for me, I don't do a lot of rings because I like to focus the art on my nails. I also like to bling my nails sometimes. Now, if I wanted to be perceived as uber classy and like I have no opinions and I'm unoffensive and there's no creativity to me, I'm just like a cool, classy, clean chick. I'd probably go for a long nude nail or a soft pastel nude nail because let's be real, most people, not all, but a lot of people think that long nails are ghetto and unhygienic. And then the other half of people think that women with long nails don't work hard to live a life. And so it's kind of a status symbol to have a woman with longer length nails. It's like, oh, she's taken care of. Like she doesn't have to work hard. So you have a lot of differing opinions on that. It depends on your motivations and your goals. What circles are you trying to be in? When you look at Melania Trump, the reason why she looks so expensive is because her overall presentation is crafted in a way that's neutral and balanced. And she also has that sophistication and sex appeal factor. So it's like she's doing the new nail, she's doing the neutral clothing, and then she like sexes it up with the eye makeup, like porn star makeup and a sexy smize. You can tell she's got that je ne sais quoi. I feel like with Melania, she has an alluring, calming, mysterious presence that causes people to pay attention to her when she talks. Okay, so I'm going to hyperanalyze myself here of this video I just filmed. And, honestly, I feel like I did a great job with the jewelry here. I have gold hoops and also they're not super big. I feel like a circular jewelry or earring, it adds a touch of femininity and softness to the face because remember, what makes the face masculine and feminine is the shapes and the lines. So just having a small, cute hoop adds a touch of femininity to the face. But if you had a big hoop, it adds more sex appeal and attitude. Like, you put on a bigger hoop and it's just like, you just smacking your lips a little bit more.
Do you need an earring that says, I fight other women? Do you want to wear bracelets but on your sides of your head? Then you need hoops.
Kind of gives the youthful effect, I feel like, whereas like a bigger hoop gives a more sexual, like grown and sexy vibe. So I feel like the hoops really complemented the chain right here. Now, usually things with cutouts or like slits or stuff, they have the propensity to look a little bit more vulgar. This dress that I'm wearing here is complemented well by the sheer sleeves, which adds a touch of femininity and softness. The sleeves also are a little too big for my arms, so it kind of showcases my body. The dangling jewelry on the décolletage. Like I said, a dangling jewelry on the décolletage can visually shorten the torso length, but also it's just alluring. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're trying to seduce someone, why not have like a dangling piece of jewelry right there? So, so you can be like eyes of hair, but you know what you're doing. The fixtures in the house are gold. So, and green and gold go together. Green and gold go together. Those are complementary colors. Another thing, red and green goes together because my hair is like a plum burgundy. It has a violet undertone, which you don't typically see with red hair, which makes it a little bit more subdued. Now, the thing with hair colors is unnatural hair colors don't read as classy. And this is something I learned from a stripper a long time ago. She told me blondes and black hair are the money colors, and she was right. Now, I'm not saying you need to have blondes or black hair, but what I'm saying is you don't think of a pop star and you think blonde. The colors in between are, like, for example,
Are you breaking up with me?
Yes.
Okay.
Where your swag, nigga?
and when I have black hair, I look a lot more exotic. What makes a person look exotic is the contrast in colors. So since I have a pretty neutral hair, I'm able to really play up on the makeup and have a little bit more fun. But if I was going to stay here and have more of like a plum burgundy hair, then that's kind of low-key the focal point. It's not a color that has high vibrancy, but it's still not black or just like a natural hair color. So that's naturally going to be the focal point. So I have to do more neutral makeup, maybe cool tone because it's fall. The hair is almost kind of giving like Bordeaux wine kind of vibes, which is classy. So yes, this is a unnatural hair color, but it still can read as classy. Now, when it comes to the blue hair and the green hairs and the purples, I feel like the non-binary people ruin that and it's become a status symbol for mental instability. So you gotta really be careful with the fantasy colors. And to me, fantasy colors are just for the art. It's for fun. That's not like, it just is what it is. It's just a different type of beauty. It's a different type of vibe. Another thing, if you notice from this, right? So I kind of have a lot going on, right? The neckline is sophisticated, yet also not sophisticated. I'm kind of given classy party girl, but only classy because of how I look, because I am thinner. It's crazy to say, but you know. Anyways, I have short nails here. So in a way, because like one, I have unnaturally colored hair, and then I'm also doing like, the jewelry thing. I have a bracelet on that has green and gold. I'm doing a lot, but also I'm not because the makeup is neutral. So it would benefit me to have a shorter nail. Maybe I'm going to tone it down on the hands because my makeup and my hair is doing a lot more for me, and thus it becomes balanced. Also, my hair is not perfect. I put way too much hairspray and it's not up to my standard of perfection. But am I going to sit here and feel bad about it? No. You know why? Because a little imperfection adds relatability to the image. If I was looking like perfect, not a hair out of place, I kind of look like an AI character, almost like this perfect doll that's not really relatable. And it's almost kind of intimidating in a way to where it's nice to look at, but do you feel connected to the image? So there's beauty in imperfections. So don't stress yourself out about like not being the most polished or perfect things. The basics you've got to have down to really read as, well put together, but don't stress yourself out. Not everyone is going to look at my hair and think like the girls might, but not a dude at least. Now I'm watching the footage back and hyper-analyzing myself even more. The blazer is not long enough. It was a cheap blazer from Fashion Nova that I got for ASMR character Patty from Millionaire Matchmaker. But to the astute trained eye, they're going to notice that, and it's going to take away from the overall expensiveness of my image. Now, if I had a blazer that went all the way out to here, maybe if it was even a little blacker, because I find with your blacks, it's always good to have your blacks matching. And I feel like when the black isn't saturated enough, it can look just dingy and more low quality. So even for me, having well-fitted tailored clothes is going to take me from a 7.5 to a 10. This is what I mean by your clothes should be well fitted and tailored to your body. Yeah, you want your clothes to fit easily and effortlessly. Also, another thing when it comes to nails, talking with your hands lowers people's cognitive load. So it helps people process information better. So if I was to sit here, like stand here and looking expensive and feminine, it's all in the details. And if I was just really monotone and not really expressing, you're able to really understand the expressiveness of my words when I move my hands. So that's why I personally don't do a lot of rings. They probably would look great, but I don't want to take away from the beauty of what you're seeing here. Also, if you notice, it's two different colors, right? Like I said, most people would look at my hands and think, it's all about who it's on, okay? It's all about who is it on. If you got a more eccentric nail set, then maybe you're going to tone down and be more neutral with how you present yourself so that the nails could be the focal point, especially when you talk. If you really think about it, it's distracting. A little glimmer here. I'm like, haha, like you're either focusing more on me or you're being distracted enough to not see through me, if that makes any sense. I feel like another thing that makes you look really expensive and luxury is, I'm sorry, but as an artist and a creative person, I did not teach myself how to do acrylics to be doing the same basic nudes and soft pastel nails that everyone and their mom does. So for me, I do things to attract more creative people who would appreciate my open mind. So some people, the people with no flavor, are going to look at me and be like, well, why don't they match? Why is one red? Why is one black? If you really think about it, and I glue this one on wrong, so please don't judge me. Black against red. Black and red is a very dominating color. It's very ultra seductive when you want to have domination and control over people. It's ultra and uber seductive. Colors that complement each other. And then I have the red over here. I want people to look at my hands and be like, why did she do red and black on that? Like, why did she do that? What was the reasoning behind there? Why didn't she get just a basic black set? Why didn't she just get some red nails and call it a day? I want people to think that because they unwillingly don't realize that I'm drawing them in with my energy and aesthetics. I don't have to say a word. I'm drawing them in. So I feel like another element of luxury and looking expensive is daring to be different, daring to be bold, daring to do what you want and having your own personal style. You know what I'm saying? Things that you don't see every day can be quite expensive looking. Something that makes you think and ponder and stop and have a deep thought of introspection. So I feel like, honestly, be a grandma with some cool nails. So if you think about it, it would benefit Melania Trump to be with the neutrals and the soft pastels and the pinks because her husband's a billionaire and she is getting paid to represent this man. She's already so scrutinized on her public image. They're bringing up her modeling pictures from the past, like we all don't got a past, okay? They're scrutinizing her so much. So it would benefit her to present herself in a way that oh, my nail just fell off. You can't clock her teeth. You know what I'm saying? God damn. Okay, so when it comes to your makeup, I feel like the soft glam look that really appeals to a lot of people. I find that when I put no creativity and effort into my look and I go real soft glam and natural, it's like, whoa, who's this? You look amazing. Which is boring for me, but you see why it would do well because it appeals to a lot of people and it's not as offensive. What I've come to notice is I get so much more compliments when my skin appears dewy. People associate glowing tan skin with health and radiance, like you've been on vacation all year. White people, well, not just white people, but you can tell someone has money when they're tan as hell in the winter and they're living in a city like New York City or Chicago and they have like a summer tan. You can tell they've been on vacation. It's that healthy, radiant, beautiful skin. So I find for me, I get a lot more compliments when my skin is giving dewy or there's some type of glow or luster to it. I absolutely love soft matte makeup and I feel like you just look like an animated perfect character. But I feel like when you look one dimensional in a way, it can make you look a little too like an AI doll to where think of a magazine picture, no gloss, no luminosity. It's just like a perfect flawless image. And depending on your skin type, soft matte makeup might not be good for you. You know, it might get in the lines and the cracks. It might not make you look great. It might photograph harsher. It's not the same for everyone, but I just find that dewy looking skin is more expensive. So when it comes to fragrance, you never want your fragrance to be overpowering. And for me, I always want to smell different than anyone has smelled before. You want to customize your own unique scent that's unique to you. So for me, I like to layer my scents. I like to use a nice fragrance oil like a oud of heaven, not only for its metaphysical properties, but also for the delicious scent. It's a great base scent. This is not an ad, by the way. I feel like the best way to smell good is by using fragrance oils or even spiritual oils that smell great, that aren't overpowering, that complements your fragrance. Also, you want to be making sure that you apply your fragrance, right? So I stopped applying it to the neck. I do right here. Oopsies. And then I do right over here. And I'll do the back of the kneecaps. And then the back of the neck as well. And then I don't rub it in. I just let it sit so that it just like, it does the thing. I don't think you're supposed to rub it in. I learned that from a TikTok. But you want to make sure you're applying your fragrance as well so that when you walk past someone, they're like, you know, it's all my stoners out there, you know, when you walk past a scent of some devil's lettuce, the broccoli's lettuce, the devil's whatever. You're just like, so you kind of want to be like that for people with how you smell. You want to smell good. And here's the thing, for me personally, I'm so attracted to people who are hygienic and clean. It makes me feel so calm and it honestly inspires me to be even more cleanlier than I am myself. I feel like hygiene is a given here if you want to look feminine and expensive. I feel like if you are a person that's hygienic, you also create that calm and that safety in other people as well. When it comes to your handbags, it doesn't have to be designer. It just needs to be sleek and structured and complement your outfit well. It's not that serious. I feel like when it comes to looking classy with shoes, heels, loafers, Anything basically but sneakers and slippers are going to make you look more elevated, any outfit. The jeans and the heels duo. It's kind of like, it makes up for the more casual nature of the jean. Also, for me, I stopped wearing gym clothes in public because I don't like the fetishization of leggings. I don't like feeling like I have a camel toe. I'm walking down the street and I'm like, why does this guy look so happy to see me? And then I'm like looking down. So I stopped wearing leggings and just gym clothes in general in public. I do love athleisure. It's mainly what I wear. But I love a good jogger for walking around and running errands. While you might look very healthy and athletic in your gym clothes, more than often you just look like you're going to go work out or you're going somewhere. Yeah. And I feel like if you're going to do the athleisure thing, because I swear it's all I wear, all the glamorous looking outfits you see me in, it's literally like for the camera, but it's all I wear. So I feel like if you're going to do the athleisure thing, you need to do high quality athleisure, especially if it's clothes you're going to be spending a lot of time in. You want to be comfortable and luxurious. And you also want to, yeah. You want to look comfortable and luxurious. I want you to start thinking about how certain hairstyles are perceived. So, middle part, straight hair. She plays no games. Side part, she's a sweet girl. Bombshell curls. She's a Victoria's Secret model. Black hair that's sleeking out the face. Like, she's not here to play. There's so many things that, think about bedroom hair. It says that she's effortless and chic, even though it might have took her like an hour to get out of bed and make herself look good. Your hair is telling a story about you. You've got to get good at learning how you're being perceived from others and why they're making those perceptions. Now, obviously, bitches be hating, point blank, period. But if you keep getting a certain thing, then you start thinking to yourself, why am I being perceived this way? Analyze the details they're picking up on. And if you don't like it, figure out how you can change it. Another thing is tattoos. As an artist, I respect other artists' art. And I have a tattoo that I got as a dare that I've been trying to remove for a while now, but I can't find a place because they're like, you're too dark, you're gonna burn from the laser. Anyways, but another thing with tattoos, I appreciate tattoos. I see it as artwork. But the thing with tattoos is for most people, when you see someone who's heavily tattooed and has excessive piercings, it can be an indicator of mental instability and trauma. And it usually is. So that's the only thing about like having a lot of tattoos. There's nothing wrong with you. I think your artwork is probably beautiful, but other people are probably going to perceive you as someone who's living an unconventional lifestyle or an alternative lifestyle. It kind of makes you look like a horror chick or a cool chick, Yeah. They might perceive you as being meaner than you actually are. You might be the sweetest person ever who has humility and is so intelligent and rounded, but they're perceiving you as someone who just got out of prison because of all the tats. So that's another thing. Tattoos really take away from the expensive look and the femininity of your image. It's all about your energy. You don't have to break the bank to look expensive and be feminine. When you walk into a room, you're a bitch that they know they need to spend money on, okay? It's not only because of your beautiful presentation, it's about that energy and confidence that you're radiating. People can tell when people like themselves or love themselves or even have high self-esteem and when they're faking the funk. You don't have to break the bank to look expensive or feminine. You just need good taste. I hope this was helpful. Let me know what you guys do to make yourself look expensive and feminine. Let me know all your tips to how you stay looking so good. I'm so cold. Bye.